Hey guys, welcome on into the Josh Reese Show. I'm your host, Josh Reese, and this video is going to be about the love triangle between Carmelo Anthony, the New York Knicks, and the Houston Rockets. And it's still baby mama drama. There is no conclusion to this love story just quite yet. But before we get into the video, please follow my friends over at Countryside Massage here in Conroe, Texas. Take 2 seconds to pause this video, click the description and the link below. I have them linked in. Just give them a follow on Facebook. They're supporters of mine. They do really great work in Conroe, and I would appreciate it if you gave them a follow. So, you clicked on this video because you want to know the latest with Carmelo Anthony. When is he going to be traded to the Houston Rockets, and when will all this baby mama drama stop? Unfortunately, that answer is still who knows. As of Saturday night, ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski is reporting that Carmelo Anthony is expecting the New York Knicks to continue trade talks with the Houston Rockets. And I would just like to read a little bit from Woj's story. Per Woj, sources tell ESPN the 10-time All-Star is counting on the franchise to carry out its previously agreed upon mandate to trade him to the Houston Rockets. So, this deal hasn't been in place, apparently, for a little while. I imagine maybe Phil Jackson was working on this before he left. Probably Steve Mills more than anybody. But with Scott Perry now in the fold, he wants to try to slow everything down. He still wants to try to make his mark on the New York Knicks. He still wants to try and see if Carmelo Anthony can get back into the fold. Maybe he can come back and be a big part of the Knicks making an Eastern Conference Finals run next season. No, that's laughable. Carmelo Anthony has made it known through sources and other places that he does not see himself with the New York Knicks. He wants out. He's waived his no-trade clause to go either to the Cleveland Cavaliers or the Houston Rockets. And per Woj's story, it seems that he is leaning more and more and more towards the Houston Rockets and less towards playing with LeBron James in Cleveland. It seems like he really wants to come to Houston, and apparently per people around the league, that seems like his likely destination if this can all get sorted out. But that's the major problem right now. The Knicks, or at least Scott Perry, is under no obligation to trade Carmelo Anthony. It was Phil Jackson who was the one that was burying Carmelo Anthony and saying that please waive your no-trade clause. He was the one that wanted Carmelo Anthony out of town. And now, with Scott Perry at the helm of the Knicks, he is hoping that he can not buy, but he hopes he can get Carmelo Anthony back in. But not really much has changed for the Knicks. They just recently signed Tim Hardaway Jr. to a $70 million contract. They still have Robin Lopez. I mean, the Knicks are still going to suck next year, no matter if Carmelo Anthony stays or not. If anything, they should want to move on from Carmelo Anthony and just start off in a new direction. But, as I mentioned, they're really under no obligation to trade him. They can force Carmelo Anthony to come back next year. He would just be playing, begrudgingly. And maybe they're hoping that, look, Carmelo, you want to go to Houston. We want to send you to Houston, but we want a lot more for you. So we're going to keep you, and maybe we'll trade you by the trade deadline. So Knicks have a couple moves they can make. And it's really Carmelo Anthony and how much influence he has over James Dolan and the rest of the Knicks. How much can he really hold the Knicks to the fire right now? Look, y'all guys said y'all were going to trade me. Y'all promised y'all were going to trade me, and now y'all guys are holding it up. Carmelo Anthony can really drag this out if the New York Knicks don't start playing ball with Houston Rockets. He could start going public more and just start burying the Knicks. So this could get really ugly before we start to see a resolution for the Knicks or the Houston Rockets or Carmelo Anthony. So it's really, really strange right now. And while there is nothing new and concrete to report of late, Carmelo Anthony, at least per Wojnarowski, is expecting the trade talks to resume. So maybe he is thinking that, look, I talked with Scott Perry for a little bit. I tell him how much I do not want to be New York Knick, and I'll make life uncomfortable for you if I stay. And maybe that is what he is expecting to finally be the last straw that broke the camel's back in New York. Who knows? But it should be mentioned that the Blazers are also hoping that Carmelo Anthony is going to extend his no-trade clause, and the Blazers would swoop in there and try to snag up Carmelo Anthony. But if he's starting to sour on Cleveland and kind of zero in on the Houston Rockets, it really makes zero sense for Melo to even flirt with the idea of playing for the Blazers, especially with Golden State in that division. So that seems like a very, very limited possibility of happening. So not really much news to really go on, but I just wanted to kind of share the latest with Carmelo Anthony, all the happenings. Adrian Wojnarowski, of course, drops Woj bombs all the time, and this is technically considered a Woj bomb. So while Chris Paul was introduced to the Houston Rockets on Friday, and James Harden talked to the media about his new contract on Saturday, it looks doubtful that Carmelo Anthony is going to be speaking with the media on Sunday, although that would be a pretty great 1, 2, 3, kind of knock it all out at once. But it seems that everything is pointing in the Houston Rockets direction. And whether or not you want Carmelo Anthony on the Houston Rockets, it seems like this will eventually be a done deal for the Houston Rockets and Carmelo Anthony. It seems like the marriage is going to happen. And hopefully it's not going to be a messy divorce with the Knicks, because no one wants that. No one wants that. So I appreciate everyone for giving this a watch. If this is your first time watching my YouTube channel, please like and subscribe. Like this video and subscribe to this YouTube channel. I put up a lot of Rockets content and also other content as well. Astros and Texans, just Houston sports content in general. Also leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the latest of Carmelo Anthony. Do you feel that this is going to start to be a little bit more messier? Do you feel that maybe after next week everything's going to be resolved? Let me know what you think about Carmelo Anthony and this latest development. Also, if you have not seen my happy smiley face before, please follow me on Twitter. I would appreciate that. You can find me on Twitter at Mr. Joshua. And lastly, please give my friends over at Countryside Massage a follow. Take 2 seconds out of your day and give them a like on Facebook. But that's it for me, guys. I appreciate you for watching this video, and we will be back with more when more happens.